Started. Welcome to Lunch and Learn Zoom Friday. We are so happy that all of you guys have made it today. I know it's been an extremely busy month. It is hard to believe we are already at the end of January. Where has the time went? This past week, I don't know if you saw it or not, but I was so excited. I got to go meet with, Gary last weekend. And then yesterday I got to go meet with Kay Lehman, and she's had a busy couple of months. Her and her husband was sick. They've been doing some traveling and some different stuff like that. And so anyways, it was really good to reconnect and get back with her and find out what's going on in her world. And then this past week and just yesterday, we've got two birthday boys here in the room today. Happy birthday to Barry and Claudio. So happy birthday. I'm
Happy
sorry
birthday.
that Kate is not here to sing to you. She is on the road right now, and we need to put her in our prayers because her father, she's expecting him to pass away anytime. She's hoping that she can get there, and it's about a 1,500-mile trip for her. So that's going to be a long trip. So
yeah, he actually did pass. I was speaking to her a little while ago.
Okay.
Just a couple of hours ago, actually.
Okay.
So,
I missed
unfortunately.
it. I've been busy this morning, didn't get a chance to look. Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that she didn't get there, but I know she was on the way. So make sure
Yeah.
you reach out to her and let her know that. Anybody else have any birthdays or anniversaries or anything coming up? Yes, Olivia.
So my Vietnamese New Year is February 1st.
So what does that mean for us?
It means it's the year of the tiger, and it's a lot of fun celebrating, and we give out red money envelopes.
Oh, you'll have to tell us about that.
Where do we get mine?
Oh, goodness. Well, keep us posted on that. Like your new background, Olivia. That looks excellent. Looks excellent. We do have some kudos that I would like to do some shout outs. Melissa Dealey, if you didn't catch her post, she has been, an article has been posted in a magazine. I did see that. Also, Bruce is still not feeling good, y'all. He's like one step forward, two steps back. And I spoke with him yesterday, and hopefully, he'll be back to himself. But man, he's just not feeling good. But anyways, Ellie Sheffy, catch her post because I want you to learn something about this. It was a magazine, a newspaper article from the Miami Herald. Now she lives in California, but she travels to Miami obviously quite often, and she's familiar with Miami. And so it was really interesting that they pegged her. And what I want you to see is how she was able to make an interesting article, informative, but yet she was still able to plug what she's doing. So there's a way to do that. You can do press releases. You can do all kinds of these things and plug your stuff in a way where it's not so in your face that this is, an advertisement or anything like that. So I encourage you to take a look at her article. I know Balbir and Juanita's going to be out today. I'm trying to think if there's anybody else that said they was going to be out. Livy and I have a ton of stuff to share with you today of things that we have been learning. And early this morning, I attended a webinar, and it was a travel webinar. This gal, despite having a little foul mouth, I didn't like that, of course, y'all know me, but anyways, that's her personality, that's her whatever. But anyways, so she has been featured in all of these magazines and newspapers, all over the world for being able to travel. She's traveled, a young gal, she's traveled to 55 countries. And what I was wanting to see is I want to learn as much about funnels as I possibly can and see who's doing them right and who's doing them wrong. So I screenshotted nearly everything, and was just kind of looking and seeing what she was doing because I loved it. And here are some things. Besides, I'm going to share with you some travel hacks, which were excellent, by the way. I'm sorry Juanita is not here today, but anyway, she'll catch the replay. But here's what I noticed. she had this webinar, and throughout the webinar, she continuously reinforced her tagline. It was a short, snappy little tagline. So you always knew every few minutes she weaved her story, which again, get with Helen because she's a master storyteller, how she could weave that in to what she was doing. So she gave us some really good tips. But again, she was sharing her story with us. Her funnel has some beautiful pictures. I mean, absolutely beautiful pictures of her all over the world. She told us how she got that done. And she also, let me find out where my little sheet is here. She repeated the tagline. She gave us an upsell. She only gave us 10 minutes at the end, which y'all know that's about normal, right? We're used to that. We kind of got that hook story offer down because we've seen enough of these. But she also said who this is for and who this is not for. And this is something kind of sort of new that I've been watching. It seems to be a trend. And this is a great way to knock people out of your funnel. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want tire kickers. Honestly, you don't. And I don't remember, I think, Helen, it was you and Mary on a post that I saw yesterday was talking about, you know, you don't want to force people to buy from you and force people to get in your funnel. That's not who we're trying to attract. And we're all out here working extremely hard to get people, you know, and we need to start working a little bit smarter. And one of the ways that we can do that is be very clear about who we don't want and who we're trying to attract. So I thought that was excellent on that. And then the colors, the branding, of course, all of that stuff, the typeface, the fonts were really good. And I'll share with you a little bit later on that. But here is some of the travel tips that I thought was excellent. She's been to 55 countries, and she has done that really and spent like less than $100 on her tickets, her flight tickets. Wonder how? Cool. Skyscanner.com. Skyscanner.com. She says what she does is every month she goes somewhere, not once a year, not whatever, but every month she wants to go somewhere. So what she does, you know, and usually there's a holiday wrapped around somewhere in the month, so she doesn't have to do PTO. So she's not a multi-gazillionaire or nothing like that. She's been able to do this just like a normal person. And she says what she does is she puts in her departure city. She don't put a date in though. And so she puts in, I guess, and I haven't had a chance because I mean, literally, I just did this morning. And so I think she said she puts in less than $100 or something in whatever the query is. And up pops all of these countries and all these destinations that she can go to for that price. So she can just pick and choose. And I thought, that's rather interesting. It's kind of like throwing a dart, you know, at the world globe to see where can I go this month? Where can I go in February? So that was tip one. Tip two is there is a website, a company called Airfordable. And what this is a layaway plan for your flight tickets. So if you find a flight that you want, you can go to this website. Oh my goodness, look who's coming in. You can go to this website. It has to be a flight that's over $200. And you can put that flight on layaway. And you can pay, I think she said it was 4 installments. I got to go back and look. But anyways, you simply do a screenshot. There's no credit check. There's no anything. But you can actually have 7 different flights on layaway at one time. So this is a way to really plan out some really cool stuff and not have to pay for it all up front. And I thought, I love that. The other thing she said, because she travels solo a lot, all the time, and she said, you might be, you know, she went through all the things. This is what's on your mind. I know you say you're afraid to go by yourself. I know, you know, you don't have the money. So she went through again. This was another tip. She talked about all of the objections that you have of why you're not traveling the world. Okay. And she went through each one of them. It was really brilliant. So what she says she does is she goes on to Airbnb and she'll click on experiences for that country. And one of the coolest things that people are offering now is the photo walk experience. So you can pay $50 or $100, and you've got this professional photographer that's taking you around to all of the cool sites and making sure that you look your very best. She said, if you ask a stranger to take your picture, and I'm speaking primarily to the ladies, you know, they're not going to tell you to sink in your belly or your hair's messed up or, you know, whatever. But these photographers, they will. That's their job, to make you look fantastic and get some really great. Of course, she was posting, you know, Instagram photos, you know, not everybody's into that. But anyways, I thought that was rather interesting. And she said, it's fun with those experiences because you don't have to be afraid, because you go to these experiences, there's other people already there. And so it gives you something to do. Okay. The next big one was transit accommodations. She said a lot of people, she said when they see an 8 to 24-hour layover, it freaks them out. They can't stand it. You know, you get stuck in an airport. What the heck are you going to do? What you may not realize is there's something called transit accommodations. And what you would do is you would click on your airline and Google that, transit accommodations. And this is how she visits 2 countries for the price of 1. So she gets a layover. One of her layovers was in China. And so she did the transit accommodations, and they offered hotel and food throughout her layover time, and they paid for it. So it was out of their pocket. So she gladly stayed, got to go to the Great Wall of China and all of that stuff. And I thought, oh, that is just too cool for school. I've had layovers before, and it stinks being caught at the airport with nothing, which we have the USO Club, you know, where we can go in and relax and all that stuff, which is kind of nice. Not kind of, it's fabulous. But anyways, so transit accommodations. And I've only got 2 more things that I'm going to share with you. The next one, she said, every country with their embassy, they usually have a small travelers enrollment program. And she talked specifically about, you know, the United States one, but she said all the countries will have it. And you can find that embassy_finder.com. And so what she does is all her family and friends freaks them out because she travels by herself solo all the time, and they're always afraid for her. Well, besides giving your family members and all of that your itinerary, what she says is enroll in the Small Travelers Enrollment Program. And this is where you give them the itinerary. And like if you have somebody that's supposed to pick you up, she had their WhatsApp number, all the excursions that she was planning on going to, all of that stuff. And she files that. And there's a program, and I'm assuming it's kind of like a text thing, you know, where throughout your trip, the embassy is checking on you to make sure that everything is fine and that you are safe and all of that. So it's kind of a 2-way communication, letting them know that you're going to be in that country during this period of time. And I thought, love that safety precaution. The other thing, the last thing that I want to share with you is health. You know, sometimes you go outside the country or whatever, and you might get sick or not feel good or whatever. And so here are some things that she said that she now has learned to always carry. And one is Excedrin for, you know, headaches and all that other kind of stuff. Benadryl, Zyrtec, something that has a histamine in it, because you never know. You could have a food allergy, you could have, you know, bugs, whatever, depending on where you're going to go. And then she had motion sickness pills. She said, not everybody, but sometimes that hits you. So bring some Dramamine. And then there is D-Manos, D-M-A-N-N-O-S-E. And I'm trying to think, one of these is for women in case you get a UTI or something like that while you're there. You know, you can never tell. There's nothing that makes, you know, horrible. And then tea tree suppositories and charcoal tablets. So those were her main things that she said that when you're traveling abroad, no matter where, you know, or whatever, that she always makes sure that she puts those in her travel bag. And she was talking that families can do this, not just single solo travelers, but that's who she is, you know, because she said, you know what? And I have fallen into this before. I've had trips planned before. Everybody says they're in all the way up to the last minute. And then all of a sudden, nobody can go. or they don't have the money, or they don't have whatever. And so she really pushed that. And she was like, you know what? She said, forget it. They're not going. So you need to live your best life. You know, if you want to travel, start traveling. And I know due to COVID and all that stuff, that may not be a possibility. But again, I just wanted to share those tips. I thought those were fantastic. And yesterday, to make a segue, Olivia and I attended a LinkedIn training. And Olivia, I'm going to turn this over to you because I want you to tell them about this LinkedIn Live. I want you to tell them the pros and cons about using the two platforms they were discussing. What are some of the benefits? And maybe show them, I don't know if there's anybody going live right now, but show them how that shows up in your header, which is super cool. And the creative mode and all of that, because some of us are just kind of getting started in that, while, you know, some of you, raise your hand if you're already doing those. Are you doing the LinkedIn? Jess, we'll get your input here in just a second, because I think this could really be powerful for what I heard yesterday. So go ahead, Olivia.
Awesome. Yeah, so there was a LinkedIn live session with two of my favorite people in LinkedIn, Fanny Dunnigan and Gabe Leal. And so, I mean, Fanny produces her own show like regular since last year, and she always highlights like content creators and different tools and resources. And she always produces a content tip of the week, so it's really fun just to hear her ideas. And then she brought on Gabe, and Gabe is a live stream producer, so he helps people like learn things like the Restream and the StreamYard and how to optimize it for themselves. And so they got together, kind of just like, you know, having discussion about why live streaming. And he really broke it down to, you know, you have a message, you know, whatever that message is that you could talk about for hours on end and never get tired, and wanting to bring community. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Like, you don't have to break the bank to get started, right? You can start cheap, and then you can scale up. And then, you know, once you get better and have an audience and following, then you have a little bit of investments you can turn back into your business, and then get like the fancy equipment like the DLSR. So, but definitely just no fancy ring lights, other than just, you know, your willingness to learn, your willingness to observe other people, and then your willingness to just be bad to get good. And he said this one key takeaway, which I really loved, and it was, let the audience be a part of your journey, right? And so that's how you can draw people into your story, like weave your story in, and letting them show that you are progressing. And it kind of gives them permission to be like, you know what, like, I may not be perfect at something, but I can take baby steps. I can do little things to get good later on, right? So that was that. And the really big discussion was around the tools, because we have two competing tools. And I never thought about this, but it's actually really good, because you want to have competition. That way, these companies, they have to up their game each and every time and make sure that they're going to add enhancements. They're going to include features that make it easy for us to want to get on video, right? And so it came down to this. StreamYard, I think many of us use StreamYard. I think Melissa Deely does a fantastic job with StreamYard. And then I use StreamYard, and it's super friendly. I think it's just, I go in there, I can drag and drop, and I understand what to do, right? It's not like too techy. However, there are some limitations, because, you know, you don't have like a library of music. You don't have a library of templates they can play around with. However, with Restream is, I think, a little bit more advanced. So, I mean, if you're kind of just starting out, Restream might not be a good place to start off. However, there are some features that you want to keep in mind. It allows you to pair. So, for example, if I were to do an interview and I got Tony Robbins on my interview, right? So with StreamYard, I would only be able to stream through my one audience, right? So I have my StreamYard account linked to Facebook and linked to LinkedIn, and then those people in my network will be able to see that. Tony's audience wouldn't, unless he tagged them for some reason, right? And so with Restream, the way I understood it is that, okay, with the click of a button, Tony can push out the interview that we're doing, and it gets shown in front of all his people. So it's like double the exposure. So that's why people are really, really excited about Restream for that reason. And then they're also adding like just these customizable features, like you can have intro music, and it's a library of, you know, already royalty-free, free copyrights, etc. So you don't have to like get in trouble with that. And it just allows for better comment engagements. It was really cool because, you know, what we love to do is Because when you're hosting and you're inviting someone to speak with you, it's only the two of you on the screen, and the audience is just in the chats. And so it's really nice to be able to grab the comments from the audience, right, and pop them on the screen. And people love it. They're like, oh wow, like someone's like noticing me, like someone sees me, right? And so we like to pop up those comments on the screen. And so StreamYard, does it for you. But what's really cool is that in Restream, you can see the whole panel. You could like pull up more than one comment. You can like pull up the whole conversation, and that involves more people, like gets more people involved in interacting, etc. Because that's what you want to drive. You want to drive the comments and engagements, etc. Again, remember what I said earlier, right, about networking, about LinkedIn being a 24/7 networking party. So when you go live stream, you're the host of a networking party. So it's your job as a host to kind of get people to stay and mingle and talk to one another, etc. What else did they say? So yeah, so
Well, your partner, talk about how important it is to have a partner. Like you help me here all the time.
yes, I was going to lead into that. So what's really cool is that, okay, you can only imagine if you're like hosting or trying to like interview someone, there's so many different buttons and things you got to do. So it's really important to have like an admin person, like a behind the scenes team member, right, that can help you with managing the chats. And so with the Restream, they let you have like another person kind of like be a co-host, and that person can have permission to pull out the comments and questions, right? Because sometimes the questions that get thrown in there, they're mixed in, and so the host or the guest doesn't have a chance to address them because everything is going by so quickly. So what the admin person does is like be able to pull out those questions, directly, and then feed them into the screen itself. So that way everybody gets, in real time, sees it. So that was really cool. I don't think StreamYard has that ability right now for Teams, but Restream is. So just really interesting discussion about the pros and cons of each. Restream is a little bit more expensive, just a little bit more. I mean, it's not like a big difference, but it is a bit more expensive to start out. And both of them have trial packages. So if you just want to like get a 30-day trial and just play around and test it out, why not? Go for it. Oh, and yes, and so LinkedIn used to make an application, like you had to apply to get LinkedIn Live. And so now with creator mode, you turn it on, it's in your dashboard of your specific personal profile. You just turn it on, and that gives you access to LinkedIn Live. And then you'll have to create the account with like StreamYard or Restream.
What I thought was so cool was where that streams at is in your header on LinkedIn. So unlike Facebook, where you have to go down through or whatever, this is right there in your header, your live. So, I mean, it would be, really hard to miss. So whatever was going there. And the other thing, the benefit of having both audiences is you'll have both of them in the chat. Isn't that correct? So everybody can comment. So, you'd have, Tony's audience and your audience or whatever. So I just thought that was a brilliant piece. Anything else you want to add to that, Olivia?
Nope, I think that's it for now.
Okay. Well, you had mentioned, I don't know if you can find it or not, but you had mentioned that Tommy Bop was using Veed for some captions. And I was thinking maybe if you could pull something up that maybe you could do a screen share with us and kind of show us what you were talking about. These are just all some options that you might want to, consider and things that we're looking at, because I definitely want to be doing something or to enhance Zoom, because currently what I'm just doing is I'll do my interviews on Zoom and then I just upload it to YouTube. But I have really been loving, seeing Olivia and several of you, using the StreamYard and different things, and it looks good. And I love the fact that you can put the closed captions and you can see it if you can't, if you're not somewhere where you can listen to it live, you can see what they're saying.
So I have a comment on the, if that's okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, to answer Helen's question, yes, you absolutely have to use a third-party streaming tool. LinkedIn doesn't have the capacity like Facebook and some other platforms do to go live straight from their platform yet. They may eventually catch up with the Joneses, but they're usually slow to implement things. LinkedIn has been slower and behind the ball of all the other features of all the other, even though we love LinkedIn, they can be a little slow. And Restream, it's even bigger than what you guys are discussing. So a few months ago, this is very recent, Restream's team released a video that explains that not only can you have a guest and have that guest share it to their audience, but you could have a panel of guests up to 10, so yourself and 9 other guests, and all of them could share it. But it even gets better. They just launched this thing where you can have up to 100 of your friends and family who just like you. They can what's calling guest stream it. So they don't have to be live in the interview with you or on the panel, but you can get 100 other people who really love you. So if you were doing a big summit this way and you had the lead time to prep everybody and teach them how to do it, because they don't even have to have a paid account. They just have to have a free Restream account, grab the link you send them to guest share it and hook it to their whatever platform they're going to share it on. So that is the capacity. So that is why I have chosen Restream. And I popped the link in the chat because, man, I am super excited about where Restream going. And Restream also just made an agreement with and is starting to do some collaborations, which I don't know where this will take it, but it'll take it good places. To that tool, I think Bruce or somebody else mentioned a long time ago that I signed up for, which is Descript, where if you change and edit the text inside the scripting piece, it actually changes it in the video, so in real time, so they connect. Well, Restream and Descript are having some lovey-dovey conversations, so that means good things coming for anyone who is either of their clients, I think. So anyway, that's my I've been doing LinkedIn Lives for quite a while and they've been going well. So
thank you for sharing. That's good stuff. Wow, boy, that guest streaming, I could see that being, it's kind of like a watch party, right? Kind of like you can do the watch party over on Facebook. Cool.
you can do watch parties on YouTube too.
I didn't know that. Was you able to find Tommy's thing, Olivia?
I was, so I'll cue it up now, but there's so much you can do on YouTube. Like, I'm amazed. Like, you can sell on YouTube, you can make a little profile, you can have merchandise. Like, I've been
have a blog. You can have a blog to your community on YouTube. A lot of people don't use that.
It's amazing. So that's a whole other avenue, but I'm excited to see that develop. So let me share the screen and you can see Tommy Bop's video here. One moment.
Tommy's one of our co-op members, is why I'm kind of showcasing him, but he's done a great job.
He does this during our luncheon, our posting parties. So Wednesday posting parties at 11:30 a.m. Central. I mean, he comes on there diligently, and he started with his like written posts, right? And then he saw like Sophia do video, so then he started doing a written post with video, and now he's doing videos with captions. So I really love. When I mentioned earlier about seeing, progression, like this is what I really like to see for all of us. And it's really exciting.
Question, are you concerned over the rising cost of power, gas, water, telecom, and solid waste disposal at your residence, business, or nonprofit? Are you worried that higher utility rates are just eating into your household or operating budget? And is this concern causing you undue stress? Is it keeping you up at night? You may not know this, but the likelihood that you're overpaying on at least one of your bills is close to 90%. Unfortunately, it just gets worse because not only might you be overpaying on your current bills, there is the issue of money you might have overpaid on past bills. This is money you might have been overpaying for years, so it's out there, it belongs to you, but you probably don't know that it's there or how to go get it. The good news is that's what we do, and that's what we've been doing for almost 30 years. We have the experience and we have the expertise to correct those bills and to get your money back. And the best part about that is we don't get paid unless we collect money for you. If we collect nothing on your behalf, we receive nothing. Now, in addition to correcting your current bills and getting money back for past overpayment, we also offer a free monitoring service of your future bills for as long as you would like. That's very important. That way, if an issue arises, we are right there to handle it on the spot. So please contact us if you would like a free review of your bills. with no risk and with no obligation and get started today on the road to recovering and saving your money. You'll be glad you did.
And what really caught my attention is like, he did the captions like diagonal. So you had to like, be really intrigued. Like, oh, like that's different because mostly captions are like, on the bottom and straight, but he was diagonal. So little things like that, that you have to be creative with to get people's attention.
Have any of you seen anything that you would like to share with us? Or are you doing anything? Anybody seen anything interesting?
Do you mean just in the space of social media or just in
Well,
general?
just this, since we're on this topic, just kind of in general through the live streaming. Anybody doing anything cool on live streaming that you've seen? All right. Next topic, let's talk a little bit about networking. I believe that Olivia, you had interviewed Kathy and you had something that you wanted to share. And then also I would like for you to use your SAVVY acronym and maybe we go around the room and have a little fun and maybe, one acronym at a, one letter at a time and have everybody to participate.
Yay, awesome, very cool. So that's something I learned from a networking thing to this week. So yes, I have been working with Kathy and also Helen, right, for my upcoming Sing Your Heart Song Summit. And so I had a chance to check in with her this morning and she wanted to share a little cameo appearance. So let me do that. Hang on one second, let me just cue it up.
While she's doing that, Bruce, happy to see you back here today. We were all thinking about you, thought you was going to have to miss again today.
Yeah, welcome back, Bruce.
Yeah, still dealing with the crud, so get the coughing spells every so often.
All right, I'm ready now. Here we go.
Making a cameo at Lunch and Learn. Hi, everybody. It's been a while. Hi, Nancy. I wanted to check in with you and let you know that I know Olivia has been sharing tips and tricks with you on how to be successful on social media platforms. Something that she said to me was, if you go to a summit or you watch a video or watch a presentation, to go and find those people on LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever social you're on, and ask them to connect, but say something nice about their talk. Oh, I just watched your talk on so-and-so summit. It was really good. Maybe a tip that you learned from them, and then start following them. People love compliments. So that's kind of the first step. It really is a system. So sometimes when I'm watching these summits, I'll have the social media platform open and just right away go search for them, send them a note right away. So it doesn't take any extra time. I'm still listening to their talk and I'm connecting. So the energy flows. It's been so successful. And I'm so grateful to Olivia for this little tip. It's really something, it doesn't take a lot of time. And here's one more thing. If you are speaking at a summit, connect with all of the other speakers at that summit. You're all on the same stage, the virtual stage. So you're all connected. Then you can all share each other's things. It helps you and it helps them because the more you like, share, and comment on things, it brings up your platform. You become more visible and they become more visible too. I'm Kathy Nesbitt. Thanks so much. Enjoy your Lunch and Learn.
I did not pay for this endorsement.
That was sweet. That was sweet.
All right. And then was there something else I was supposed to talk about?
Yeah, you had talked about the networking SAVVY acronym that you had made up as something that we could do. And you can do the same thing for something that you might be planning. And I thought this was a great idea.
Perfect. So yeah, feel free to use the chat or if you got a piece of paper handy or your notebook out. So I came up with this SAVVY, and I want you to make a list of the 25 things that make you awesome and savvy. So there's an acronym. So the first letter S is going to stand for your skill sets. what are you the expert at? What are you the subject matter expert in? So your skill set. So if you were to make a list of 25, right, so there'd be 4 things that you're really good at. Then the A is for your appearance. So 4 things you really like about your, physical features, so that when you look at yourself in the camera, like you can smile. It's so hard to be on video and find the things that we like about ourselves. So 4 appearances or attributes. Maybe you have like a characteristic or an attribute that you're really proud of. Then V is for values. So values, like what is really important for you. And then the next V is for victories. So what are your victories? Your most victorious moments, your milestones, your achievements, etc. That goes in that category. So 4 of those. And then the last one is Y. Y is for yum. Yum, your favorite foods. What do you enjoy eating? So your 4 favorite foods stands for yum. So if you'd like to go ahead and take a minute and do that, and maybe just do one of each, we can go around the room and share.
Yeah, I thought that was an excellent, excellent idea. And you can make it up just like she did hers, because she is the savvy what? Social strategist. Very good. Have y'all seen anything similar that you would like to share, or anything in any networking groups that you thought was fun and interesting that we could share on here? Because we're always looking for new, fun things and ways that we can do. I thought it was interesting when I went to Olivia's house a few months ago. She had table topics at her house. Well, I have 3 sets of those here at my house. They're little conversation starters. And I thought that was so interesting, out of all the games and all the different things that she would also have that. And there's all different categories of those table topics. So if you've not seen those, they're little square cards. And, you can do them at the dinner table, or, in a networking setting or whatever. And so I thought that was kind of fun. So who do you want to start with for your S, your skill set?
I'll just call people as I see them on my screen.
Okay.
All right. Claudio, you ready?
Actually, skill set is the last one that I'm doing. I haven't got one yet.
Oh, okay.
Give me any other letter. I've got one.
Well, anyone who wants to, should we do all of them? Yeah, let's do all of them.
I'll tell you what, let's do for sake of time. Let's just say skill set, who wants to share, and then go to the next, like that.
All right. So skill set, who wants to share? Marsha.
Course creator.
Nice. Awesome. All right. So attributes, who wants to share? Or appearance?
I'm going to say
High
Jen.
energy for me, attribute.
Yeah,
Do y'all
Jessica.
believe that? Do y'all agree?
Try to smile all the time.
Nice. And then how about V, values? What's a value that someone has there? Yeah, Kelly.
You're on mute.
Yeah, transparency and integrity.
Nice. Wonderful. And then who has a victory? Bruce, please.
I've survived almost dying several times. That's a big victory.
Oh my gosh, yes. Thank you for sharing.
God, I ain't
And
finished
then-
with you yet, buddy.
And then the last category, Y for yum. Any favorite foods? It is lunch and learn.
Chocolate!
Roast beef, mashed potatoes, and gravy.
I think today's National Chocolate Cake Day, actually.
Is it?
Mm.
Oh,
Oh, now I'm visualizing. Yeah,
So-
Sophia.
I'll say jerk chicken and German chocolate cake.
oh.
That's quite a combo. I do love jerk chicken and chocolate cake.
Okay, what's jerk chicken? I've never heard of that.
Oh, it's a Jamaican jerk chicken. I'm from Jamaica, so that's happens to be one of my my favorite things to make. So I'm gonna make some today. So and you use there's a Jamaican walker wood, seasoning that has all the different seasonings that we would normally use in Jamaica, where you kind of pull them in separately and then combine them and then, you know, marinate your meat and then grill it. But over here, there's a seasoning sauce. So I just buy that and then I put it on the meat, marinate it overnight, and then I cook it the next day on the grill.
So it's not like pulled chicken or something like that. It's
No, you can use any kind of chicken. You can use chicken breasts, any kind of parts,
it's
or
just the
anything like that.
seasoning is what refers to as a jerk chicken.
Yeah, and also in the salad dressing aisle, there's a one that we use. It's called Caribbean jerk. It's like a salad dressing, and you just marinate your meat in that, and it's really good. Yeah.
Right. Well,
yeah.
I've seen that one, but it's not that same flavor. So it
Oh.
kind of, it goes away from the flavor a little bit, because I think that one's a little bit sweeter. And so with the jerk seasoning, it's more on the savory side.
Can you put that in the chat so maybe we can find it?
Okay, I'll put the I know they have it at World Market and at some of the local grocery stores. But if you have a World Market near you, then that would be a good place to check.
Okay.
Trader Joe's too. Trader Joe's.
Sophia, I don't know if you were on here earlier when we were talking about the live streams and all of that stuff, but wanted to compliment you on your weekly videos. And would you have anything that you would like to add to that discussion on some tips or anything that you have learned by doing those? Because you do those every Wednesday.
Okay, so in terms of what, being visible or
just the process that you're going through, any tips that you've learned to do so well on there is kind of what we're looking for.
Okay, yeah. So one of the things that I do is that every week I prep. And so I always prep my script. So I write out a complete script about whatever it is that I'm doing. I'll do research if I need to, and then pull all the information together. And then one of my secret is I have a teleprompter, the Teleprompter Pro. And so I'm able to display the script in the Teleprompter Pro. So that way I won't forget anything that I want to be able to say. And then I can just look at my script and kind of go through it. And then just add in your personal expressions and that kind of thing too. And hand gestures too, to help it be more effective.
What tool are you using for your videoing? We were talking about Restream and StreamYard. And so we were just trying to, kind of see what tools everyone was using.
Right. Well, I use Zoom. So
Okay.
that's my go-to. It has always
yeah,
been.
Me too.
Yeah.
We were just trying to, see what folks are using.
Yeah. I recently I can do live stream. So that's one of the things that I'm hoping to work on and to incorporate is to do a live stream video through whether StreamYard or Restream to LinkedIn. So I haven't done that yet. But the pre-recording, I record every week on Sunday is what I do. And then I have, an extra one saved just in case, something happens and I'm not able to do it. I already have a video made.
Good job.
Perfect
Thank you.
planning.
Absolutely. All
So
right.
I
What's
wanted to,
next, Livia? Go ahead.
Well, once you have your 25 lists, right? I really want you to post that somewhere, like in your bathroom mirror, or anytime you're getting ready to do a presentation, you're getting ready for a meeting or speaking on stage, whatever. I really want you to look at this list and just read those things to yourself, right? And add some movement. So, like rub your shoulders or roll your shoulders around like this. Thinking about, this wonderful, awesome, savvy list and just really feeling it, right? So like rolling your shoulders back and then saying,
Got that laughter yoga going.
Like butterfly taps, because you are awesome and you are savvy. So just getting into that rhythm and then reading through your list, I think, really helps to elevate your energy as a way of preparing for things, as a way of preparing before going on video. So I love that, Sophia plans it and it's her Sunday time. She just knocks out in a block, like a energy block, time block. And then you just do that. And then you'll be already smiling when you're on camera.
Yes. And that is important, to videotape yourself and watch it and see how you're coming across and your mannerisms and, different things like that. I notice all the time. bad speaking habits and different things that I've picked out that I used to not do on stage. Well, I've talked to Olivia about it. I've picked up some bad habits that I'm doing on Zoom. I don't know if it's because it's not formal. I mean, you know what I'm saying? We're just having conversation and all of that stuff. And so those are some things that I'm going to be watching for this coming year. All right. What's next on our list, Olivia? Do you have our list that we made the other day?
We do. We wanted to check in with everyone because we talked last time about, creativity and using upcoming holidays and themes, etc. So have any of you worked on that and would like to share?
We've got Valentine's Day coming up. Any ideas for what you can do? We kind of talked about that last week. Or are you planning? Maybe this is not your thing. Maybe you don't want to do that. We're just kind of, giving folks some ideas. No Valentine's Day post?
I'll be posting something. I just, my team probably already made something. I just have to approve it.
Okay. Well, you have time, folks. You got a couple of weeks, but that would be, perfect timing for you to start trying to figure out, okay, how can I wrap this around this holiday to get myself out there on a post?
I'll mention, Nancy, that I've missed the last few weeks and I apologize for that. So I'm not sure if you brought this up, but there's actually like a resource that you can go to that you can Google, pardon me, national holidays, and you can get a whole list. So if Valentine's Day isn't really something that you think jives with your business, there might be something else in February. Like I know, I think it's February's Black History Month. So that might be something that you could use. I know that, there's all sorts of crazy days, like somebody mentioned earlier, Chocolate Day, and there's so many things around food. But I just want people to consider that if Valentine's Day doesn't resonate with your business, find a different thing that does.
Yes,
because it still needs to be who you are.
I put the link in the chat, Helen, that you're referring to. And just so you know, February 1st is National Get Up Day. So, they really just want you to get the heck out of bed.
Oh,
or you need something else and I'll behave.
And Nancy, I have been posting some things that goes with my business around Valentine's Day. Gifts for Valentine's Day, things that you can wear for Valentine's Day, things like that. I've been doing that.
Good job. Good job. Yes, Sophia.
February 1st is also National Freedom Day.
Ah.
Yes, and it's related to the amendments and the emancipation of slavery.
I'll be darned, didn't know that.
Way more important than the Get Up Day. I just found that one funny. And then there's one coming up for Umbrella Day and Giving Hearts Day. The February 10th is Giving Hearts Day, in line with the Valentine theme. So anyway,
I got this great calendar. I subscribe to this company called Vaudeville, and they sent me this beautiful calendar. It's so cool. It's customer appreciation. And so today actually is National Have Fun at Work Day.
Man.
And this past Monday was National Compliment Day. So I just thought about that today.
I like that one. Ooh, the 19th of February is Red Sock Day.
And so if you want to see upcoming holidays for February, they have them here too.
What was the deal, Olivia? Last year, you and I were talking about, you had found a resource that we could get together and we could get something on the calendar.
Yes, I have a friend that works for National Calendar Month, and you could make your own holiday. We were supposed to do like Kidpreneur Day.
Yeah, or, do something and entrepreneurial. I think that would be cool to get something on the calendar and say, hey, we did that.
So I'll send this out to you guys in an email, but coming up February 5th, National Weather Person's Day. So, giving love to your national weather person. February 10th is National Umbrella Day. February 11th, National Make a Friend Day. February 17th, National Random Acts of Kindness Day. And February 18th, National Caregivers Day.
Wow.
February 6th is National Frozen Yogurt Day. Ooh.
Yeah, because the ones you're reading, Olivia, are coming up in the February calendar for the link I gave you, but then there's like usually 6 others
Yeah.
that are added to it. So it's a lot of fun to pick things that talk about your personality or are good to your branding and things, or you have stories for,
Right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay,
Find
so let's
basically-
say we're working on these posts. Okay, we want to work 30 days out. Jessica, you want to share with us some of the tips that y'all use? I know, a lot of people don't realize that you can automate these posts. You don't have to be sitting here doing all of this. What have you found that works best for you, Jess?
Well, one of the things, well, we plan it all out in advance on a spreadsheet, and then we also create everything in Canva. And I use the paid for Canva because it's nice to use the scheduler system in there, and so we schedule through there. And a lot of that, once you've got it created, you can auto schedule. So that makes life easier. And remembering that it's okay to do curated content and cut other people's content, right? Like, featuring other people's events and featuring other people's products and other people's videos that, they're in your community that you want to promote. And also like really great TED Talks and really great articles from Forbes. And, so having that curated piece really saves you from feeling like you have to make everything yourself. So that's just something else that helps save a lot of time.
Anybody else have anything that they'd like to share about their posts, things that they've learned? Something that you've seen maybe that's a little bit different, that's caught your eye, that made you stop and think, wow, that was pretty cool. That one, I finally found that ad that I couldn't find last week that I was talking about. And I don't know if y'all seen that, but I reposted it. And I don't think it was what y'all were saying, what you thought it was. And I seen another one yesterday that was probably the same company or whatever. And it just shows, like, for this one, it's kind of like weight loss and exercise and stuff. And it just shows that, your fat just kind of rolling off of you throughout, the month, doing all of this stuff with stuff in the background. And so that's just a really something, not your normal post. So if y'all see some things like that, please share them, mark them, and then on Fridays, let me know that you have something that you would like to share, because these are all really great ideas that we could possibly be incorporating into our own marketing and promotion plan. So I would like for us to build up a library of those.
Nancy, Marcia, you have a question from what you were saying earlier about the travel tips.
Yes.
You were giving a website and it was embassy_something.com. What was that?
Finder, embassy_finder.com. Yep. And supposedly that's got all of the embassies listed on it.
Okay.
And that's good to know for any traveling, no matter what, that you would know. I've had some friends that had issues, and I was thinking later, even though I'm a world traveler, I was thinking I would have never known what to do if I'd have been in that situation. And so anyways, I thought that was like, gosh. All right, next topic.
You want to take a screenshot first?
Yeah. Oh, shoot. I hate that we missed Kelly on there. I think I did one earlier, but I missed. Let's do a 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Thanks for the reminder.
Someone's got to keep you on track.
I know, right?
Awesome. Well, we were also talking about how, we're encouraging you to kind of observe what's going on with, other businesses, because it's okay to study, right? Like, study other people's funnels, even if you're not in it, but like, study, observe, find out what they're doing right, find out what they could have done to improve better, and then maybe how you can incorporate or adapt it to your own liking for your own business. So one of the things that I absolutely loved, I think Jessica, you were part of it, was the Standout Stars Week of Kindness. I mean, this was a whole week last time, and it was a great opportunity for me just to kind of like, see new people, learn new things, and they almost always have like a freebie or a giveaway. So I grabbed a bunch of those just because I want to study, right? Like, how are people promoting events? How are people introducing themselves? How are people creating their funnels and systems, client attractions, right? Because these are things I want to be learning and then coming here and sharing with all of you. So we encourage for you to do that. You got to scope out the landscape or scope out the competition, in a way.
Yeah, and
Yeah, that's,
Go
Ellie,
ahead.
Ellie recommended, which I started doing a while back, is when you get on different email campaigns, whether it's Tony Robbins, Dean Graciosi, or whoever, when you get that email and you like the way it's formatted, and save it in a folder. So I've got a folder for email campaign examples. So I can go back in there and kind of review that and see, okay, how might I adapt that for me?
Yes, yes, great idea. And on that note, something that happened to me twice in the last week that is, I think, horrible and annoying. Okay, I got on an email list of somebody's and they sent me these emails, which was fine, the follow-up. But when I did not respond to what they were trying to upsell or get me to move through their funnel, now this was two different people, two totally different things. Their emails almost started in getting kind of a nasty tone to them. It wasn't like it was, they were trying to do, you know, how you have like, you've got 10 minutes to do whatever, you know, that little technique where they're trying to, the scarcity model. It wasn't that at all. And these two, I was really shocked because they are big, huge players in their particular industry. And I thought, man, this is a turnoff for me that you're being rude in an email instead of, what is it we're always saying, nurturing the relationship along. You know, it was not, it was almost like they were, and maybe that's what their point was, kicking me to the curb, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But I just thought that was really odd. The whole tone of those emails just changed like quickly.
Yeah, nurture as long as the client buys from you, otherwise you slap them.
Yeah, that's exactly what I felt like. And then another one, and I almost want to say the name of this company, but I'm not going to. But I mistakenly opted in for a demo for this company for this product service, let's just say. And afterwards, I realized I had already seen the video. I had already done the demo and I already had a rep should I decide to go forward in my network, and that I was not going to be moving forward. And this person, you know, they kept dinging me, which I was on their text. So it was text and email that I was getting for this particular one. And they finally got so nasty, you know, about, you know, and I sent them a message and I told them that. I said, I already have a rep. This was a mistake. You know, I apologize for the inconvenience, but I've already seen the demo, so I won't be requiring that. Well, I got this nasty message, I mean, on text that said, are you not interested or what? I have sent you repeated. I mean, just blah, 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 just like in my face. And, you know, I'm laughing, thinking to myself, boy, this is a great message of what not to do, you know, how to treat people. And so I said, if you'll see the email traffic, the text message traffic above, I've already answered that question. But just in case, the answer would be no, I'm not interested. And I decided just to end it right there. No, that would be no. Well, guess what I'm still receiving? I'm still receiving messages from these yahoos.
Well, I would then now start reporting it as spam.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. But I just thought, you know, I mean, it was just like a nasty, I mean, I'd already sent them the message. I'm so sorry. You know, I've already seen this, not, you know, not interested. And, you know, if I decide to move forward, I have a rep already.
It's
know.
probably automatic, so you probably have an unsubscribe at the bottom too.
Well, I don't know, because this was like, I don't think this would have been an automatic response to anybody. I mean, this would have, this was like somebody text this out to me. Like that rep texted out is what I felt like. The other ones definitely, yes, Barry, they were. But that one, I just thought,
Yeah, I know I got on an email campaign and there was no unsubscribe option. And it was, the content changed from what I originally thought I was going to start getting. So I, just replied saying, take me off your list. I don't see an unsubscribe. I did that 3 different times and they was still sending me this garbage. So I finally responded, look, I've, requested to be removed 3 times. And if you continue to do this, I'm going to be reporting this as spam, and finally stopped.
Yeah.
But I mean, I pointed out to him, like, when you have an email campaign, you're supposed to have an unsubscribe option, which they didn't have. So that.
And it's good. I mean, not to be nitpicky, right? I mean, it's good to look for these things that are showing up, and then kind of doing a self check-in with yourself. Okay, is that happening in my business? Is that showing up in my email communications, et cetera, right? So we look for those flaws to make sure that we can address them ahead of time in our business.
Yes, yes. And the tone, always, kind of look at it and see how you're coming across to everybody, because I think I've got a great sense of humor and, all of that other kind of stuff. But I was just like, whoa, I would not, even though they might be the best thing on the planet, I don't think I would do business with them now, just simply because of how those emails were written.
I had somebody request a friend request from Facebook just before my birthday. Now, usually I'll do a little bit of thorough background. I'll take a look at who the mutual friends are and what they do and whatnot. So there was one person. Okay, sounds kind of interesting. So I added her. She sends me a birthday wish on my birthday on the Monday, and she starts saying, are you, checking through your profile. Are you interested in looking at other streams of income? And I said, well, to be perfectly honest with you, not at the moment. I've got my hands full. Plus, being my birthday, I'm really not doing anything work-wise. Oh yeah, I appreciate that. It is your birthday after all. But here's a couple of videos, or what did we just say? And this is on Messenger.
Yeah.
I've had that happen several times where people, not necessarily for my birthday, but people will ask me if I'm interested in taking a look at something. I could say no 50 times and they'll just keep sending information. Oh, but what about this and what about that? Like, no, I'm not. I don't like being rude, but they really force you to sometimes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's
I got
frustrating.
that type of situation on LinkedIn messages, connections, and then the messages immediately jump into
a pitch, and what drives me crazy about that is they totally have not looked at your profile to see what you're about. Like for me, now I want to hear about business opportunities and I want to hear about, different things, but there are other things that I'm just like, really? I just cannot believe, like you said, you just go into a pitch without anything else. All right. Anybody have any comments or anything that they would like to add to that discussion? Anything that you've seen?
Yeah, one of the things that you can do if you have something like Norton or McAfee, they have spam folders. You just move them into their spam folders and it cuts them out.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
I wanted to comment on the, whether it's LinkedIn chat or Messenger chat. I had this idea given to me by someone else who was actually mentoring me in business, that try to take those opportunities when you can, because sometimes I know it's just aggravating and you don't want to deal with it, but try to take opportunities like that where someone is accosting you with a proposal without getting to know you, to actually try and see what you can do to help them. Like, for example, hey, you know what? Sounds like you're new at this. You don't really, understand the whole idea of checking someone's profile, getting to know them. I belong to this great Lunch and Learn group. You could join it and learn about this. Or, if you're a coach, you could say, I can help you with this situation, because sometimes these people actually just need help. And why not? If you're already connected with them, give them that olive branch and see what you can do.
Yeah. And I've done that. I most certainly have.
So have I.
Yeah, yeah, that's a
Usually
great
doesn't,
idea.
it usually doesn't pan out because
Yeah.
they're so stuck in their lane, but sometimes it can.
Right, right. Great
Yeah.
idea. Anybody else? All right, moving right along, Olivia.
I think that's all we had on my agenda.
Okay. Hard to believe, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll have an open discussion here for anything, any hot seat topics or anything that's going on. Claudio, you want to, oh, excuse me, Jessica, go ahead.
That's okay if Claudio has something.
Nope, go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, there is some really big, I know I've mentioned this before, but I need to tell it again because the money is rolling in big in my direction from this. Your local governments have big amounts of COVID money that they actually have to spend. And so like Maryland Capital Enterprises, Economic Development, SBA offices, all the local community libraries, I am doing, they're paying my actual hourly rate for a library conference I'm doing for LinkedIn. They reached out to me and they said, we have some money. What's your fee? We want to pay you. Can we book you? And then I spoke on a panel that was a statewide panel for SBA yesterday. And then I found out they're paying me for the panel time that I was on there. I was one of like less than a handful of experts in the state that they featured. And that was combined with SBA and economic development things. And then the people who attended, who want our services, the people on the panel, they're paying for those people to get our services. So they're going to pay me hourly to work with all these clients. They're paying the bill. And so I know, and it's endless amounts of meetings these customers want with me until the money runs out. That's what I was told. Invoice us and keep booking the appointments. Just let us know until the money runs out. So your local library systems have money. Your local county economic development have money for you to teach what you're good at. I mean, this would be brilliant for, I can't see anybody on this page who doesn't know something that they couldn't teach the local business.
How did you find out, or how did you connect with that?
So I started years ago. I just, reciprocity, man, it's the way I live my life, is honest to God truth. I started with free LinkedIn classes for the local job source community where they needed to help get people employed. I gave it away for free. I work with the economic development. I work with SBA. Women Business Center called and said, will you teach something? I said, sure, I'd be happy to. I kept teaching all these classes for free. And my husband and my mother-in-law kept looking at me like, you're nuts. You're always teaching everything. Are they even paying you? And then as soon as they got funding, I was the first person on the list that they called, like an excited child, to say, I have money. What do you charge? I can pay you, you know? And then whenever more money comes in, they just keep finding ways to give it to me. And I just keep working with them. But you can call them and ask these questions. You can call and say, hey, I know that some economic development offices have funding so that business professionals can teach a webinar or a training for the business community. Is that something you do? Who would I talk to? How would I apply for that or be considered for that? You know, and then consider giving a free class here or there if funding does show up. But man, I am telling you, it has filled my books, and I'm going to have over the next 2 months, several $1,000s just coming in from government money. And that's not, I think that's good. I mean, maybe it's not big enough for somebody else, but for me,
that's fantastic. And I know most of the areas have a SBDC, which stands for Small Business Development Council and they're usually tied to a college. And, you know, the score, the senior, I forget, retired.
All of them. You can
yeah,
call
all of
them
those.
and ask that question.
And, you know, they normally give, like I said, sometimes they don't charge, sometimes they do charge the patrons for those. So that's a fantastic avenue for those of you who might, you know, have something like that I'd like to share.
And Nancy, I just taught a networking class. You run a networking organization. You could get paid to teach a webinar on networking. I mean, you have so many things that are in your skill set. So it could definitely work for you too. I mean, I don't know if you guys are interested in all, but I feel like it's money just sitting there.
Well,
absolutely.
The other thing to go along with that is just talking with your local chamber of commerce. If you're not already a member, a lot of times you can say, hey, I'd like to do this type of a training, you know, free for members, just to get the exposure out there.
Yeah, I've done
Yeah.
that too, where I have there's a whole library of my LinkedIn training for our local chamber, and I get calls on it all the time, even though I'm not an active member anymore because it's in their education library portal.
Yep.
And I mean, that stuff has longevity. It sits there, it stays.
Yep. Sophia, did you have something you wanted to add?
No, I was just saying, yes, I'm interested in learning about all of these. I'm
Okay.
like, yeah, so I was saying that was a yes.
Okay. Claudia, what I was going to ask you is, you want to give us a report on what's going on with Novatech this week? Looks like we had a big interest rate, good weekly earnings this past week.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as
Get
high as
out.
I haven't seen the actual figure yet for the week. It's not as big as it was last week. Last week I think it was 4.1, so that was a really good week. But yeah, it's still moving along well. It's still compounding every week, and I'm loving it. I'm getting very close to hitting the next rank again. So it's
Wow.
very
I
well.
thought it was like 3.2 or, something, but anyways, anytime
Something
you
like
can.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I posted yesterday, just for folks who may not realize what the difference is in the treasury notes, money market accounts, what the market is pulling out there versus all these other things. And granted, they're not without risk. We're not saying that, but if you're looking for options. And the other thing that I shared this week in one of my posts was the difference between compounding something annually, quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily is astronomical. And I used $1 just to show you, how that thing can compound. Like I used our average of like 2.3% is what we've been averaging, I think, since April per week, so that's, 2 to 3% a week. If you took 3% times 52, that would be 5, 10, 15, say 150%. But when you are compounding week by week by week, it actually ends up being in the thousands % that you're getting by the time at the end of the year. So it's nothing magic. I mean, it's magical, all right, but it's just, the magic of compound interest. So if y'all hadn't looked at that or whatever.
Which one is it again?
We were just talking about Novatech is the one that we were talking about right now. But I've been doing some examples for folks because, a lot of people are not math nerds like me. I'm really not a math nerd, but I've just got that in my background. I'm one of those right brain, left brain people. And so just to show people, I did a compounding of $1 over 5 years using that 2.3%. And it was like a crazy number. I mean, it's just ridiculous. You
But
just
I'm
wouldn't
already
believe
in
it.
this one, right, Claudia?
Yeah.
I'm in this one, so I'm
Yep.
good. Okay. I'm
Yes, what you need to do, Jessica, is make sure though every week that you're moving that money into your account so that you're compounding on your
I think
compounding.
my husband is, but I'll be
Okay.
chatting with Claudia
Yeah,
this weekend to verify, but I think my husband is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he is.
All right. Anything else?
Nancy, where do you have that example posted somewhere of the different scenarios of the compounding with the dollar?
I think I did this week, but I have worksheets that I can send for anybody who would like to see those. I just did Excel, spreadsheets also. Okay. Cause it was just like, makes your eyes cross thinking that can't be possible. How can that be at 3% a week? 3 times 4 is 12% a month. 12% a month times 12 months, that's 144%. Well, how's it turn into 1,000%? Well, because you're compounding every week and adding that money to it.
Yeah, it's like penny doubled every day after
Yes.
$5,368,000.
Yes. That's a great example. I'm going to add that to my post. I forgot about that one. That's a good one.
I don't get that. My math is not good. You guys.
That's why you got Excel spreadsheets. That's why you got to use Excel spreadsheets.
I don't understand.
Oh, but
This
it's
topic
crazy.
makes me feel dumb.
No, you're not dumb. It's just math. It's just math.
Here's a good one
compounding.
for you because you have so many kids. So now think of each of your kids having that many kids, and then each of those kids having that many kids. That's what it is.
Yeah. Network. Yeah. It's like
That
network
help?
marketing. Actually, it's multi-level
Network
marketing, isn't it?
marketing.
This is network marketing. Think about rabbits
What it
multiplying.
sounds like to me is a bridge jump off a scenario.
Oh.
See, now you get it, Jess. I just had to put it in your language. Now you get it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in the fear factor method.
Mm,
Well, the biggest misconception too with, companies like CashFX and Novatech is as soon as you start talking about it and, I'd love for you to be on my team in this, right away, people's minds go to, oh, I have to recruit. But you
Yeah.
don't. You can just put money in and it's just strictly 100% passive. And you can start with as little as $300. So it's not like you have to have a major investment to get in. So it
yeah,
just,
I mean that one that we did right now, our Cash FX has 0 outside commissions or anything in it. Nothing. It's just strictly earnings. It was just strictly earnings, and we went over 100%, I think, in December. So, anyways,
Yeah.
just trying to keep y'all abreast because most of y'all are in the co-op or whatever. But anyways, I do know we were looking, at Hyperfund and eventually probably want to look into that a little bit more, but it is a little bit more complicated, wouldn't you say, Bruce?
Oh, yeah, especially to get the money out.
And that's a drawback for folks when it comes time for that. And one of the pluses for Novatech, unlike Cash FX, your capital stays in the account. You can't draw it out, but you're getting the earnings, and all that stuff. Well, Novatech, you can, but there's a little penalty if you want to take it out before 3 months is up.
Yeah.
So you can actually pull your, capital out versus the other, and it's also compounding. So
we're also being told though that CashFX is going to be doing that very shortly, where they're going to be coming back open up in the Canada and the US. They're going to be going into copy trading. So it's going to be compounding daily. So it's going to blow the roof off of Novatech. So
wow, I
keeping our
tried
fingers
to,
crossed
I
it's
tried
soon.
to do a worksheet with a dollar on the
Yeah, but
daily
Cash-
compounding, and that was just like I stopped because I was like, okay, my eyes are crossing. I just need to make sure that I got these formulas right.
So Novatech's
Yeah.
not going to daily compound, it's CAF FX.
CashFX will be daily. Novatech is weekly.
Yeah,
But-
weekly is still amazing.
I
Yeah.
know, but what about, I still can't get into Cash FX, right?
No, not yet, but that's coming very soon though. What's happened though is I think I've explained it before. They were coming out with a phase 2, which is going to include a lot of moving parts. Now they've finally realized that certain ones of those parts are taking a little bit longer than they had hoped. So they've decided they're going to start launching things as they're ready and opening in Canada and the US and going to copy trading, which is similar to the Novatech platform, is coming very soon. So we're just waiting to hear now.
Did you say coffee trading?
Copy, COPY.
Yeah, it's that's just the method of the trading that they do. So you actually have your own personal account, and they just take those funds and they go and trade it on your behalf.
Okay.
I
So-
put how
so-
I feel about that in the chat for you there, Claudio.
Oh, good things come to those who wait. Good things come to those who wait.
It's not a get rich quick scheme, but it's a good system.
Yep.
And
It
along
is.
that same line, when is the co-op dues due?
You've been out of the loop. They're due right now. I'm going to
Okay.
send out an email. We met last week and voted. And I forgot to mention that I did upgrade Cash FX and the Novatech, and I made sure that I did it on Claudio's birthday because, I know he'll get a little bit of something. So I sent him a happy birthday. But anyways, so we have a Novatech account, and the Cash FX Daisy is still going. And of course, we're open for other opportunities to look at, because that's one of the things we want to do, as many of these as possible and see which ones are working, which ones are not, so that if you want to do it on your own, you can, but then you can feel a little bit confident by knowing, what's been going on inside the co-op. So I will be sending that out this weekend with everybody.
How's
for-
Daisy doing?
we had a bad month. I think it was December. They kind of took a hit, but it looks like they might be back up, and they're also in the cryptocurrency space now. with some tokens and some different things that they had done a little while ago. So they're expecting really great things. I listened to the kind of the new year thing, about what's going on. So they're very optimistic. They're an artificial intelligence platform as well. And so that thing is being
So like sort of like a bot. Can you send me information from the co-ops link so that if my husband and I want to add that one to what we're doing too, we can use the co-ops link for Daisy, please?
Yep, I sure can. I'll put that on there.
December is generally a bad month for anybody in the Forex market because most of the big players don't trade for the last 2 weeks. And then even getting into January is still a little sluggish. So the fact that we still earn, even though it might only be 10, 20 cents, a couple of bucks, whatever it is, it's better than losing money. But there's
Yes.
hardly anybody trading. So there's nobody to make any money from.
Yeah, exactly. And that is just for those, I've got a message there. It's 30, 50, or 100, whatever you want to do every 90 days. And we are now on the calendar quarter. So that's going to be a lot easier for everybody to keep up with. And then what would be great is if we would get those in, like, let's just say the week prior, so that I would know exactly we can, meet the third week and decide, okay, what are we going to do with our upcoming dues? What project do we want to fund? And then once you're paid, I would know exactly how much money I had, so that on the first of that month, I can go ahead and get the Bitcoin bought, and have that in the wallet and already sitting there, or whatever it is that we're going to be doing, and get that done. So we're not losing money just sitting there waiting on folks to pay their dues. So I think this year will be a lot easier. Yes, Marcia.
So I have a friend on Instagram, and here's what she posted within the past 48 hours. I'm so excited. I can't believe Bitcoin mining is real. I just invested $1,000 and got back $10,000 within 3 hours of investing. DM, and then she gives the name of this person. So I want to ask Claudia.
Not possible.
Yeah, I don't know what on earth.
I'm not saying she didn't post it. I'm saying that's not possible the way Bitcoin is right now.
Yeah,
Well,
Bitcoin, we're trying to get stuff, I'm just acting like it's on sale because Bitcoin is, I'm just wondering what she might have done, Bruce, is there might be a project, kind of like these projects, you put Bitcoin in and they're using it to do something. And then the earnings that she made off of it allowed her to have that much. So I would be curious if you'll send me that message. I'll inquire, Marcia, because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to look at all of these to see, to see what they're doing.
okay.
But
Right.
definitely, so that could be possibly, it's not that she's made it off of Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It's the fact that some project or business opportunity is using Bitcoin as their,
Yeah. Because
As they're-
Bitcoin has been losing money.
Okay, but it shows here that I don't know how authentic it is, but it says deposit account, no fee checking account, $10,000 deposited.
Yeah.
yeah, well, we'll have to, dig
I'll
into
send
it.
you the screenshot of this.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about the mining process, but I know there is money to be made there as well. I don't know exactly how it works because there's one gentleman in Cash FX. He actually does all the program, was possibly going to be putting out something along that line where you can invest money into the mining, and within 3 months you'd make X number of dollars back. So it's possible because it's not really relying on Bitcoin itself. It's the mining
Right.
process.
Right.
That's the mining aspect. That's true.
Yeah. And so what we need to do is, if y'all run into some folks who have that expertise, we probably need to invite them to come over and do a little training for us so that we can educate ourselves a little bit more on that, as well as I know we've got only a couple of minutes, but I think Laurel, Bruce, you were telling me that she was kind of, you want to share a couple of ways that she's going to use that.
Well, she was talking about NFTs.
Yeah, NFTs. That's another area we
Non-fungible
need to
tokens.
educate ourselves on that as well, because that's a new
for-
topic.
Yeah, because they're right now, NFTs are typically, I believe, using Ethereum crypto, and there's additional fees involved with Ethereum, and they're saying that the NFTs are going to switch over to another type of token and that. But They're saying for just like artwork, songs, and different items, you can have this, create this NFT, this digital certificate, and have that be part of whatever your product or service is. Like Laurel is talking about tying this to her new book that's coming out for Make Your Kids Millionaires. Well, anybody that buys the book with the NFT, they get access to live in-person training events for the rest of the year. That's their ticket, so to speak. So that's one way that people are starting to use these NFTs, is additional bonus access.
Well, Eric Worre, I think, gave an NFT to everybody who participated in their recent challenge. I missed out this year or whatever. It's my understanding. So I hadn't looked into that too deep. But anyway, so I mean, it's out there, it's being used.
Yeah,
and one of the things that I want us to do is be on the cutting edge, man. We want to be here, and we don't have to necessarily participate, but I want y'all to know what's going on in the world and introduce you to all the opportunities, because one thing might not resonate with you, but something else might.
Yeah.
So anyways, all right. Anybody else have anything before we get out of here? All right. Thank y'all for joining us today, and y'all have a wonderful weekend.
Right, bye.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Feeling better,
Have a great
Bruce.
weekend.
Thanks.
Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.